What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Lucid, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what just came out from Lucid itself, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid did go down 5.14% today, and that largely was due to Tesla. After hours, you're seeing a lot of volatility. So it is starting to move higher because of what Trump is kind of saying right now. But there was this dip to $2.16, and that is because of this. So Lucid Group Inc. announces proposed convertible senior note offering, sum of $1 billion coming due April 1st, 2030. Very low rate, so I think it's 1.25%, but nonetheless, as I've really kind of complained about in the past, is all these convertible debt products that Lucid seems to be relying on, that is going to be very destructive in the foreseeable future. So if Lucid really doesn't start to ramp up and kick ass, take names, they're going to be screwed through the amount of dilution. And there's a lot of stocks out there, a lot of EVs that have gone this route where they just rely so much on convertible debt products. It eventually does cause them to go belly up. So definitely I can name like 3 off the top of my head just about that. But yeah, in general, I think we all know that Lucid really does need money, and they will need money, as what Peter has previously stated, up until like 2027. But they really, again, need to get their crap together. The only other thing that really came out today that potentially could have affected Lucid was this right here. So exclusive, Lucid struggles to ramp up Gravity production due to safety issues, source says. Doesn't say who the source is, just someone who's familiar with the launch. So Lucid's already done this way back in 2020, early 2022. So when they were starting to ramp up on the Gravity, a lot of people were questioning, like, what the hell is going on? Where's all the Gravities? Turns out they had a very similar issue to this. So even though this is not really verified or anything, I'm kind of leaning to believe it, again, only because of Lucid's history. So this would be very unfortunate, and it would have been good for them to be transparent on that. But again, it is what it is. This is kind of Lucid. But of course, one thing that really did affect Lucid, though, first thing was Tesla. So Tesla unveiled their numbers, and they were horrific for Q1. So that did hit the whole EV market. Just unfortunately, Tesla, they were able to break from that because there was news that came out that Elon was going to be taking a step back from politics. So that caused Tesla to go up higher, and ultimately a lot of the EVs just got left with the crap. So that's why Lucid, Rivian did go down because of that. So not necessarily the best. So you have a lot of different things going on today. So you have Tesla numbers, you have Trump speaking, so it's causing a little bit of a volatility or a little bit of a bump up there. Then you have this. So this impact to $2.16 was because of this. So I feel like that dip was justified because, yeah, this is getting a little bit crazy and out of control. So Lucid really needs to get their spending under wraps. If not, you're going to see just massive, I don't know, whatever, it is what it is. But as far as shorts, they did increase 2.88 million shares today. 23.51% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 285.76 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 100%, and then short score is 75.56. So shorts were piggybacking off of just the negativity associated to the EV market today. But aside from that, you had kind of low volume for options, 893,000 in calls, 185,000 in puts. 47% of all the options being done today were bearish in nature. So obviously it bouncing off the 50-day moving average as well didn't really help all that much. But of the call options that were done today, you still do see a consensus for it to be above $3. That's kind of a good thing. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 250, and this one stands out. You see another outlier for it to be sub $1.50. And this is kind of exactly what I did bring up in the video yesterday, is that you had random pockets similar to this that are kind of anticipating Lucid to really break down. I don't know if maybe they knew about this in advance, because if Trump wasn't speaking right now, I think it would have easily stayed this low, roughly around that 220 to 25 range. But again, what do I know? But aside from all of that fun stuff though, these are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So a couple ones there. So 3.6, 1.05, you had 3 buys, so the rest were sells. So algorithmic trading was making up for the majority of the volume, with it at $2.40, trading between this R1 and the pivot. 233 is a strong support. 255 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. So you really want to watch for that 255 because that is pretty much right where that 50-day moving average is. So 257, because Lucid and that 50-day moving average is a very big deal. If Lucid, for whatever reason, is able to close above that for 2 consecutive trading days, then this is where you could see a lot higher highs, potentially, of course, because that usually does result in like a 30 to 40% swing. But moral of the story is Lucid really needs to get above that. And it's unfortunate, like looking back at all these points, these major dips, like this one right here, that was dilution. This dip, luckily enough, like I said, Trump is kind of speaking. So a lot of Lucid's dips that has occurred in the past are usually because of their earnings or just dilution. So Lucid really needs to like get that under control because it is really killing investor equity. Like you see a lot of stocks just going up, yet Lucid's actually ramping up. The only thing is their ramp up and the revenue that they're bringing in now has to offset even this amount of dilution. So it's just I feel like Lucid is in a losing game. And obviously Peter stated that this is kind of the nature of the game. It's a startup, but at the same time, you don't see a lot of other startups such as Rivian doing to the same extent that Lucid is. So I feel like something really does need to change ASAP about this, but what do I know? Like I said, so let me know your thoughts on Lucid. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What's your viewpoint on, for instance, this? Do you think that Lucid is actually encountering some safety issues with the Gravity, or do you think that this is just a rumor, fluff, FUD? What's your kind of general thoughts on all that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some kick-ass buy signals on either stocks, options, or crypto. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.